everyone. Welcome to the Psychic Side Radio TV podcast here on the A1R Psychic Radio Network and Moonstruck TV. Yes, we are the Earth's #1 psychic radio network, but it's not true that we were broadcasting from the Chinese balloon to get to our friends in the universe. They've got their own vehicles flying around out there. So just kidding. I want to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day and remind you of our sponsor, Miracles of Joy. Remember, you just go to miraclesofjoy.org and use promo code PS-223 and get a 25% discount on your order. Now, this week, I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, and that is clairsentience. I know it's a little weird, but that's the way I am. So this psychic sense, though, is like any other psychic sense. It has its nuances. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't talk about when they talk about the psychic abilities, the nuances. And so I want to get right to it because I have identified at least 12 nuances of clairsentience that I believe are worth talking about. Now, for me, clairsentience is not just the psychic ability of using your personal space. It is, but you may get some physical sensations too. So the first one that I want to talk about is twitches. Some people get twitches or itching, or they may get some other kind of physical sensation. They might get a neck ache or something else. And that may be a sign that something's getting ready to happen. And that may be a symbol that that they are going to, someone's going to come into a room or another event's going to happen, and they may learn those psychic impressions to give them a heads up as to what they're going to do. Now, we have a short show, so I got to talk fast. And so just remember that twitches are a real part of clairsentience because then they can be a door opener to a sensation that you'll recognize. Now, also, when you meet someone for the first time, this is the second one, you may immediately get a feeling. You may get, some people get chills down their spine, or they may get another kind of sensation when they meet someone with a first impression. So when you get a feeling that does not match with the physical impression of a person, then that impression, that feeling, is a psychic impression. It's a psychic feeling impression, and it's something that you need to pay attention to because it's something that could be valuable to you some other time or later on. A lot of times we don't pay attention to first impressions, and we later on say, "Oops, I should have done that," but we didn't. Now, another type is sensing a presence, because this is the mediumship part of clairsentience. So you sense that someone's in the room, or there's something different about this place, or there's something that's alive, that's in spirit, that's around you. So that's the third type of clairsentient impression or psychic feeling. Now, another time, you may feel like something has happened to someone that you know that is not in your area, like someone in another city, another state, another country. Those are your remote psychic feelings. Remember now, I told you that we have three types of feelings. We have the physical, we have the psychic, and then we have the remote. Well, the remote psychic feelings are very important, and it's something that you can't ignore when you're talking about clairsentience. Now, when you have precognitive feelings, that's the fifth type of impression. Now, that's just the feeling. That's not the physical sensation that we were talking about earlier, because a lot of times people may feel nauseous, or they may feel like a euphoria or another type of feeling, and that may be the pre-runner to something that is going to happen in the future. And so these are things that you need to be paying attention to when you are working with your clairsentience. Another thing which I do a lot of is called psychometry. Psychometry is another physical sensation, but it involves actually touching an object. And you can, when you hold someone's ring, or you hold their a pen or their keys or something like that that they have all the time, you can pick up impressions from them. And these can be, like I say, door openers. These door openers will open your other psychic, just your other psychic senses, your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, claircognizance, and others. So psychic touch is extremely important, and it's something that I think we do. And another way that we use psychic touch or psychometry is by walking into a room and sensing energy, the energy of the room. You can sense whether there was an argument there or there was some other issues there that were there. You can also sense people's emotions by their voice print. So when we start doing readings here on the program, we'll be working with people's voice prints. So these are things that I want you to be aware of and look for later on, because when I hear someone's voice, I immediately get a feeling, and that's something that I'll go with. I have the other psychic senses as well, but psychic touch or psychometry is very, very important. Another way we use psychic feelings is by problem solving, because sometimes when we're not thinking of a problem that we're kind of subconsciously working on, we'll get a feeling or we'll get a revelation that will increase our perception of a situation. And we might get an understanding of another person's point of view. And when we do that, we grow. And that's a good example of a psychic feeling, because it comes out of nowhere. See, these feelings fit the definition of a psychic impression because they come from beyond the physical. There's no physical stimulus. Now, even with the stimulus of a twitch or an itch, that came from someplace, and it's beyond the physical. Now, another area of psychic feelings is creativity, because sometimes you just feel like going somewhere, or you feel like doing something new, or you feel like doing a drawing, or you feel like singing, and you may create something new. So creativity and inspiration are a big part of psychic ability altogether, but it can come to you through a feeling, and it's something to remember. And that moves us to the next one. The next one is a little bit like mediumship, but it's about channeling, because sometimes people, and even me, when I'm speaking in a lecture or something, I feel like I'm on automatic. And people who play instruments and who are singers or preachers, they feel like they go on automatic, like something else is taking them over, and you get this feeling of euphoria when you're talking, and that's usually what I attribute to angels or channeling, and that's very important of psychic feelings. Now, that's not to say that you don't deserve some credit as far as muscle training and all these other things and practice and all that. But it's just that certain moment that you just feel like you're not really in control, and something else is just kind of taken over, and you have that feeling of euphoria. Those are the moments that it's a psychic feeling. So I wanted to share that with you. And then we have a couple of other things around people, feeling discontent around people, feeling illnesses, feeling that people are emotionally are having troubles. And a lot of times psychic feelers are actually drained. They're drained by other people. And this is a common thing for psychic feelers. Now, if you're just a psychic feeler, that's fine. What happens is that people want to protect themselves, and they can wind up a little bit drained and introverted, and that's a problem for psychic feelers, because they sometimes start eating too much and can gain weight, because they want to protect themselves from any negativity. They may avoid going into buses, or they may want to avoid going into planes or crowded places. Now, if you have the ability to send healing energy, then that makes you an empath. So that's a psychic feeler that's kind of on another level. Okay, so I want to make that clear to you as well. Now, the next type is about auras. We can feel people's auras, and we can feel that we are around someone who's positive and optimistic, someone with a yellow aura, or we may even have that feeling of heat from the passion of someone else. So that's not a drain. That's different than being drained by other people, because you sense what they have, what their feelings are. Now, the last type that I want to talk to you about is about psychic remembering, or feelings that you've been someplace before, a past life feeling. And that's a very important part of psychic the psychic senses, having that past life experience. So they're controversial, but it's something that's worth noting, because if you dwell on those, you may explore some things and you might learn about yourself. Now, we're getting ready to wrap up, so I want to remember that Miracles of Joy is our sponsor. The promotional code is PS223, and you'll get a 25% discount. Now, we're going to do something fancy here on the psychic side. Next week, we're going to have our first guest. Joy Koff is going to be here. And what's fancy about it is it's going to preempt our second show on clairsentience, because we're going to have the second show on clairsentience. So the following week. So that's pretty fancy, but that's what we do. So I want to thank all of you for joining me here today on Valentine's Day. I hope you have a lovely evening, or have had a lovely day with that very special someone. Please join me again here on the psychic side on the A1R Psychic Radio Network and Moonstruck TV. So long. Bye-bye. See you next week.